Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, theys and thems, whoever you are, welcome back to another episode of Double Kick Bonus Level. My name is Patrick Sawyer. With me, as always, a man who needs no introduction, but will definitely get one anyway. His
Mm.
initials are TNT because his words are so explosive. Give it up
Ooh.
for your man, Terry Thompson.
Oh my God, we're recording so early in the day. I'm gonna fall asleep. Pat, how's it going?
It's going. It's going. Yeah, as Terry says, we're recording this just past 8 a.m., which is much earlier than our normal time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we're busy
At
little
least
bees,
we're busy
we
bees,
gotta
man.
we gotta
I
fit
got
this
stuff going
in.
on. Exactly, exactly. You get me. You get me.
I get it, I get it. We got
Sorry
a
for
bit
that
of a
little pause.
oh, no,
I was
you're
taking a
good, you're
sip.
good. We got a bit of a different episode for you. Um, well, to start off, for those who watch our video feed, you'll notice I've got a bit of a different background today, and that's
Mm.
because I moved. I bought a
Oh.
house.
Oh. Oh.
We bought a
Oh.
house, the millennial dream,
Uh, in this economy, dog?
in this economy, I did it.
Shoo. Shoo.
I it's funny you say that because I have people at work who are like, "Hey, what's your interest rate?" And I'm like, "You don't wanna know that." You
Hey,
just
hey,
you just wanna be able to
details.
laugh. You just wanna be able to
Yeah.
laugh and be like, "What an idiot."
Yeah. You just need to justify your not buying one.
Right.
So how deep into the debt hole are you? Nah, dude. But to our audience, I got to tour around Pat's beautiful house, and it is just, um, it's really nice. It's really nice, and you've already done so much work to it. Like you and your wife have already like painted the walls and like redone the carpeting within like barely within the first like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane,
That
but,
was that was really big for us. Honestly, it's funny when you buy a house and you have a place that is officially yours and like you can do
mhm.
whatever you want to it. I put a small hole in the wall like one of the first couple days we were here, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I was like, "Wait a minute, I don't care.
I
That's my wall."
That's my wall, that's my hole.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, no,
But
it's doing the blurry thing again.
Terry's
Damn
waving
it.
his hands.
Dog, I don't know what's wrong. Do I have a film? Do I still have the film over the camera? Come up. Look at me! Whatever. That's not important. But yeah,
That's
dude, it's crazy what a fresh coat of paint and new carpeting will like
yeah,
really transform the house. Not that it was
yeah.
bad before, but like, it's
No,
just really turns it around.
it's an older house. It was built in the '40s, and, it's still got some of that '40s charm to it, we'll say.
Mhm.
When we came in here, all of the upstairs, every single room, except for, like, the main bedroom, had some sort of different, like, wallpaper. The room
Mhm.
I'm in that I've made my office is all wood paneling, so, like, we're gonna paint that eventually.
Right.
But yeah, it is crazy that just changing the carpet out, painting, uh, what that does to the space.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
it really brightens it up. Really, it's it really puts your touch on it. Your je ne sais quoi. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. But no, I'm excited for all the house parties. The ragers we're gonna throw, the keg stands,
Sure.
obviously.
I don't. I legitimately don't think my back could handle a keg stand at
No,
29 years old. I don't think I could do it.
no, I couldn't handle one at 21, let alone 29. Oh
Right.
God, 29. All right.
Ugh,
As I
crazy.
adjust my camera. The video feed is probably loving this right now. The audio feed is like, "What's going on?" But I'm, like, taking my
Yeah,
webcam
let me
and
describe. You just saw straight into Terry's pores, right? Right
Bro, I don't
in
know
his
what's
face.
happening. Why won't you focus? Alright, 1 second. I'm gonna note the time down, and I'm gonna insert a quick little boop. and we're gonna come right back, and I'm gonna be focused. So,
You you should just have in the episode, like, a little, like, "We'll be right back. Do, 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 do."
and dog, right after we said that, it's
It
focused
went
now.
clear.
You know what? I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. I don't care.
That's
I'm
fine.
leaving it. I'm leaving it. It adds flavor.
I love it. I love it. It's so funny. This is a bit of a different episode of bonus level for you today. We were originally scheduled to talk about The Last of Us season 1,
Mm,
and neither of us are really ready to do that. We're gonna be
yeah.
honest. So, we thought, what could we talk about that would be entertaining, that would fill up an entire episode, really?
Mhm.
And my wife and I just finished Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Her for the first time. This was like a rewatch for me, and this was a childhood favorite. Am I right, Terry?
Yeah, absolutely. This was fundamental, I feel like, for us as kids and teenagers.
Mhm. You're watching. You're staying up late. It's like 11:30 p.m. You're watching Cartoon Network, and then Toonami comes on,
Mm,
and then you're like,
mm.
"Oh, we're about to get in some good stuff here." It was the
Oh,
first
dude.
episode on that Toonami block, or it was the first show,
Mhm.
and ugh, ugh.
Dude, I remember my sister and I used to live with my mamaw for a bit, and every Friday night, I don't remember, it must have been the first one, like on Toonami, because it was a specific
Mhm.
time, and every Friday I would like rush to the TV. I'd have like my little mellow yellow in hand because we lived in the South,
Mhm.
and mellow yellow was like the thing. A mellow yellow in hand, ice cold, open it up, and I was watching it was the Naruto and Neji fight from, like, the original
Ooh,
series,
yeah, yeah.
and I was like, I don't know why that specifically, like, stuck in my mind because I watched it every Friday, but, like, that was, like, a really hype moment for me, so I'm just sitting there, boom, pants off, 9 years old,
Right.
watching
Yeah.
and focused, but, yeah, there was something
Mhm.
in the juice of Naruto for us that I feel like is kinda equivalent to maybe, like, Dragon Ball Z for maybe, like, a generation or 2 above
Ooh,
us, I feel like
yeah,
I
yeah,
just missed Dragon Ball Z phase, but Naruto really hooked me and us.
yeah. I think it'd be fun to eventually I know our podcast is mostly focused on, like, watching video game adaptations and stuff. I would love to watch and review the Dragon Ball movie,
Mhm.
just
Oh, yeah.
because do you remember how bad
Uh,
that
I
was?
didn't I didn't go with you and Malik to see it because at the
Mhm.
time, my mom wouldn't let me leave the house because I was a prisoner.
Right,
Um
right.
Just kidding. I was just young. But I remember you and Malik, like, coming back and you're like, "Wow, that was kind of the worst thing I've ever seen." And, like,
Mhm.
we're in middle school, so, like, we don't have a judge of, like, what's good and bad, but you
Right,
guys were like, "Yeah, this is, awful."
yeah. I have a vague memory of the main character who's Goku, and he
Mhm.
just, like, spins on his head on top of a car, and I've seen that memed now so many times, but I remember then being like, "What is going on?" And,
What
like,
was
I
that? Go ahead.
I wasn't, like, a Dragon Ball fan, but I was
Yeah.
like, "This seems not right.
This
This
seems
seems
not
bad."
canon at
Yeah.
all. I don't get what was with that trend of, like, taking a franchise, beloved franchise, making a movie out of it, and completely changing kinda, like, everything about it. Like, the
Yeah.
Dragon Ball movie, Avatar, The Last Airbender,
Mhm.
in a sense, like,
Oh,
why
god.
why were the directors like, "Let's just change all the beloved things about it. The fans will surely love it." Just like
I Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
it's wild, but,
I
yeah, I'd definitely be down to bring that movie in and review it because I feel like, yeah, we do video game, movies, and TV, but I feel like that extends into, like, all nerd culture in general, so, yeah, anime's not off the table.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the idea just of, like, some sort of adaptation of other media into other media is, like, an interesting concept for
Mhm.
us to, like, do little side tangents on. Um, and today's side tangent is Naruto.
Yes.
But before we get into all that, because that's gonna be the main crux of this episode, I'm not gonna lie to you
Mhm.
all. Terry, I got a couple games for us to play just off the rip.
Games. Let's do it.
Um, let's talk about video game endings. Now, this came to my mind when we first talked about just covering Naruto for this episode because spoiler for everyone, the ending to the Naruto anime is so bad
Yeah.
that it really leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And so I was like, what are some video games that end like in a bad way that
Hmm.
people don't enjoy? So Terry, I
Okay.
have before me the list according to Screen Rant of the top 10 most disappointing video game endings of all time.
Okay. Okay.
We're going to play this hangman style. So, like, you'll get however many guesses you get, but every time you get one wrong, you fill in a little guy, a part of the hangman. And so you got to guess the top 10.
Okay. Wow. Okay, this leaves a broad leaves a very broad
Hmm.
choice pool
Yeah.
here, and I've done no prep. I've done
Yeah.
no googling. So
Yeah. I didn't
and
even
the
tell Terry what the category was.
he did it, and our audience will figure out once again how bad I am at guessing games. All right, so
Hmm.
none of these choices reflect my opinions on the games. I think I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
what the overall,
Hmm.
audience thinks. Some of
Yeah.
these,
Again, this
I
is
feel like
according to Screen Rant.
right,
So not even really like an official source, you know what I
right.
mean?
Mhm. So my first guess would be kinda topical,
Mhm.
The Last of Us 2.
Ooh, that is a very interesting guess. It is not in the top 10.
Wow, okay, okay.
I don't let me look up real quick when this list came out just for some
Okay, yeah, yeah,
context
yeah,
for
yeah.
you.
That'll be good, that'll be good. Last of Us 2 is
We
not on there.
got 2023.
Alright, so it's yeah,
So that
recent
should
enough,
fit. Yeah.
recent enough. So Last of Us 2 isn't on there. Hmm.
So you got the head. You got the head so far.
Not the head. Alright, so Last of Us 2 isn't on there. Fallout 3.
Fallout 3 is number 1, buddy boy.
Nice! Yeah!
That
Ooh,
is
ooh, ooh.
number 1 on the
So
list. Can you
some
talk about
top
what makes it yeah,
yeah,
why is it
absolutely.
bad?
Absolutely. When Fallout 3 originally came out, and once you beat the game, um, there's this like choice. There's this thing you have to do at the end. You have to like go into this like, I believe it's like this heavily radiated room and press a button, and essentially your
Mhm,
character dies. And then there's no way to keep playing the game afterwards. It just ends. And the thing with, like, most Bethesda games is, like, you can still play afterwards, it's this whole world you can, like, play around in, but, like, that's that in that game, boom, it's done. And the funny thing is that one of your companions is a super mutant, and super mutants, Pat, like, are these, like, huge mutated, people, essentially, but they're green and they're, like, you know,
mhm.
tall, big, and strong, and they're immune to radiation. So you have one traveling with
Okay.
you as a companion, and all the people were like, "Why can't we just send him into the room and let him press the button?" So,
When
um,
you
but
outlogic the game,
right,
that's
right.
so funny.
But, some DLC came out afterwards called, Broken Steel, and it's a
Mhm.
whole Brotherhood of Steel DLC, and that with that DLC, you can play at you can it lets you, like, make that choice, and you can, like, play on afterwards and stuff like that. But, yeah, it was like yeah, 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 yeah. That's the gist of that.
That's so funny.
Hell yeah. I'm glad I got number 1 though, right off the bat. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's
Nice.
nice.
Okay, so let's think here a little bit. Let's think.
I was gonna
So
say, you're
fall
you're allowed to ask for hints too. Don't be afraid of that.
yeah, give me a hint for one of them because this is such a broad I don't
Yeah.
know.
So the one of the games on here is related to a franchise that we have discussed on this podcast.
Related to a franchise we've discussed on this podcast, we've done Assassin's Creed, we've done Fallout, and we've done is that the only ones we've done so far?
Oh, we
Assassin's
did,
Creed,
Pokemon Origins too, but that's
Pokemon
not it.
Origins. Right. Yeah, let's say the time it took you to think of that, I think it's definitely not that. Okay, so
Right.
I think it's related to Fallout, and I think you're gonna say the Elder Scrolls, but which Elder Scrolls? It's either Skyrim or Oblivion, I would say. 'Cause I think Morrowind had a fine ending. Oblivion's ending, is pretty hype. So the
Mhm,
emperor turns into this or the new emperor turns into this like giant dragon and like kills like the demon Daedra that's like stalking the land. It's pretty hype. Skyrim's ending, you kind of just kill Alduin, the dragon, in a very non-climactic fight, and that's the
mhm.
end of the main campaign, at least.
Imma
So I'm
tell
gonna say
you,
Sky.
you're hmm?
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I didn't press the. I didn't say final answer. I didn't say final answer.
You did not say final answer. I was gonna say, "You're cold."
Oh no,
You're cold.
no.
Trying to keep
Thing
this
I didn't.
podcast PG.
Yeah, as I stop myself from blurting out loud. Okay. So it's not the Elder Scrolls.
It's not Elder Scrolls.
Is it Fallout 4?
No, no, Terry, that'll be
No.
the neck for you.
All right,
Uh,
that's fine.
it is number 10, Assassin's Creed 3.
It was Assassin's Creed.
It was
Dang it.
Assassin's Creed, yeah.
Dang it. All right, that's fine.
I'll tell
Okay.
you, here's another hint for another one. When I was reading this list, there's one game in here that's part of, like, a beloved franchise that I was surprised it was included on this list, but then Kim was like, "No, actually, that kinda makes sense."
Yeah. Is it Is it too much to ask for the franchise? Is if there's enough games in the franchise to, like, justify me, like, picking 1 out of, like, 10 of them?
Mm, no, it's a superhero video game
Okay, okay. Superhero video game. That gives
that
me a
Kim
good
has
amount.
played.
Okay, that gives me a good amount to go off of.
Mhm.
There's the Deadpool game that came out on 360. It's obviously
Which
not
I've
a
never
Spider.
played, but, I was disappointed that I've never played that because 'cause I've heard it's really good.
I At the time, I heard it was fine. Like, I remember, like, reading the
Mhm.
Game Informer magazine article on it, but, like, now, like, the physical copies of that game go for a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a chase card or something. It's crazy.
Well, because apparently you can't buy it, like, digital anymore.
Right, it's,
They,
like, been,
like
like, delisted.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, I was talking to, like, one of the guys who own, like, the retro game stores I go to, and
Mhm.
he reminds me, it's like, "Just because it's rare, like a rare game and expensive, doesn't mean, like, they're good games." So,
Right.
just keep that in mind, just because 'cause they're expensive
Yeah,
doesn't mean they're good.
true.
Anyway, superhero, the first one that comes to mind is the Marvel Avengers game.
Mm. Now, you gotta remember the top 10 list we're going for is top 10 most disappointing video game endings of all time.
Endings, you're right,
Yeah, I
you're
was gonna say
right.
that's just a disappointing video
That's
game.
just a disappointing game. Ah, God, okay. Can I get one more hint as to, like, what hero it is?
It is Batman.
That still opens that keeps the door open, so it's gonna be one of the Arkham games because that has to
Mhm.
be it, but
Yep.
which one?
Which one?
Asylum is pretty beloved. City is pretty beloved, but spoilers, the Joker dies at the end, so is
Mhm.
do they be like, "Oh, that makes it worse?" But,
So think about
Arkham Knight.
the ending of the games specifically and why they could
Yeah.
be disappointing.
So I know people do not like that the Joker fight at the end of, what's the Joker fight at the end of? I think that's at the end of City, right? Is the big Joker fight at the end of City?
I'll tell you, you're circling the answer here, but now you're just
Right.
between which 2 games is it?
Which one is it? Is it City? I know people don't like that the Joker fight, like, he turns into, like he takes, like, the Bane serum, and he like, and it's like that's not
Mhm.
what the Joker is.
And
Like
it's just a
it's
big beat 'em up,
and
like
it's just a big beat 'em up. It's not City because in City the Joker is all messed up from taking the serum. So Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum is correct, number 8.
Ah!
I saw that on the list and I was like, "What is that?" And Kim's like, "No, no, no, actually, that makes a lot of sense."
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
"It's a great game, but the ending is so disappointing."
It
I'm
just
like,
it just I mean, I'm not a huge, like, Batman fan, but it
Right,
takes away from, like, what the Joker is for sure, just to, like, turn him into, like, your usual regular, degular boss fight, and it's like,
right.
this isn't the Joker.
Now, um, I'll tell you, there's a couple games on here that I think you've definitely played.
Okay,
Um, there's one from a franchise that we played growing up when we would, like, sleep over each other's houses in, like, middle school, high school.
okay.
But I don't know if you ever played the campaign.
Is it the Halo franchise?
It was the Halo franchise.
Okay, okay, getting there. Do you mind if I do that? If mind if I, like, I
No,
whittle down
sure.
the answers?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay,
for
good.
sure.
Okay, the Halo franchise. If they say it's Reach though, Reach had a great ending. Like it's a sad one and it's not like
Mhm.
satisfying, but like I wouldn't say it's bad. Um I didn't really play the first 3 Halos. I kind of know how they end though, but I wouldn't say I'm like super familiar. I know how Halo 4 ends. Guardians is kind of whatever. I don't really know how Infinite ends. Halo Infinite. I didn't play the campaign of that one. I'm gonna be bold.
Mm,
I'm gonna be bold, and it doesn't reflect my opinion. So I think it's a
sure.
fantastic ending. But I'm gonna be bold, and I'm gonna say that the person writing this article didn't like the Halo Reach ending.
Ooh, no. You are
Ah!
looking for Halo 2.
2. Okay. All right. That's fine. I wouldn't have guessed it.
You and I'll read the description here. Halo 2 is a
Yes,
great game
please.
packed with lots of world building and some great first-person shooter mechanics. However, it only seems to exist to set up Halo 3, which left a lot of players feeling shortchanged. The conflict ramps up with players excited to dive into the finale as Master Chief delivers the cool line, "Sir, finishing this fight." But then the game immediately ends.
Mm, mm.
So, yeah, I guess the cliffhanger itself just making the game feel like it wasn't really finished is what really did it for people.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I was never gonna guess that one
Mhm.
anyway.
The next game I want you to focus on, I don't know if you've played it, but it recently, and I mean like within the last year, got a video game adaptation movie,
Within
and
the
it
last
stars Jack Black.
ah okay.
Now be
Minecraft.
careful.
Oh, wait, but that wasn't
Mm.
my final answer. Yeah, you know what? No, I already said it. I
I
already
was gonna
said
say,
it.
now be careful, be careful. It is Borderlands.
Borderlands. Was Jack Black in Borderlands?
He's
He
the robot.
was. He was Claptrap. Ah,
Mhm.
darn it. Give me another body part.
Yeah, I think you're up to an arm, I think?
That's fine. That's fine. I'm definitely gonna lose faster than I actually guess these. So let's just speed towards that ending.
That's fine. Um, I remember there's a game on this list that you played when we were kids, or you at least played one of the sequels, and you really
Okay.
enjoyed it. Um, I played this game very little. I don't know if we ever talked about that though, so I don't know if that would help you.
Okay.
This is like PS2, I believe.
Okay.
Um, I don't really know how much there is a whole franchise around it,
Mhm.
but I don't really know how much more I can say.
Okay, that's fine. I'll try to whittle down from there.
It's the first game in the franchise.
Okay. First game in the franchise. PS2 definitely, right?
I believe so. 2008 it came out.
Okay. 2008 could be PS3,
Okay.
but okay. Um, how many? Can I ask how many games are in the franchise? Do you know?
I can look that up real quick. Ooh, I'm wrong. Uh,
That's okay.
not the first game in the franchise. I guess,
Okay.
was this like a reboot? Yes. Okay. So, wow, I'm so wrong. This might be the last game in this franchise. It is the seventh main installment of
Whoa.
video games in this franchise. I'll tell you this. According to the Wikipedia article, Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed franchise is considered to be the spiritual successor of the series.
Okay, so it's the Prince of Persia franchise.
100%.
It's definitely the Prince of Persia franchise. 2008 though.
Apparently, there was a Prince of Persia game that came out last year.
Yeah, yeah. Um it was either the Lost Crown or there's like a Metroidvania one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was called Lost Crown.
Lost Crown. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
Um yeah, people like that one a lot. Okay, so
Mm,
2008, that's after the first Assassin's Creed comes out.
yep.
And that's after the first like 3 big Prince of Persias come out. I remember
Mhm.
playing this one. I
Okay.
but I don't know problem is I don't remember like, what's it called? The subtitle or something. It's
I'm just gonna tell you straight up. I didn't realize this. This game is literally just called Prince of Persia.
right, right, and
Prince of Persia 2008.
it's him with, like a cloth like blue, red
Yeah.
cloth. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yep, 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 yep. It's like a reboot or
I'm
something, and it's, like, really bad. It's a really bad
yeah.
game.
I'm gonna give you that one because you got
Appreciate
the franchise immediately.
it.
All right. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 games left.
Okay,
Um,
easy.
there's one that I think you've played. It's the number 2 on the list.
Okay,
Like Fallout 3, it is the 3rd game in this franchise,
okay.
and I believe you've played it. I definitely have not played it.
Is it something we're trying to get Kim to play?
Yes, it is.
Is it Mass Effect 3?
It is Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty I should have guessed that one right off the bat. Nope, nope.
So, that's another ending that's like a fake choice, right? My
No,
understanding?
it gives you, like, I think 3 choices, but they're all, like, they don't it doesn't stay true to the series. Like,
Mhm.
it's such a, I guess, binary black and white choice for each ending, and it doesn't like Mass Effect is known for, bringing your choices in from game to game and really crafting, your story and all that, and it's just you get to the end and it's like, "Here's your 3 choices, make it." None of them really feel satisfying,
Yeah.
and that's it, and it was, like, super pandered at the time, and I believe, uh, Bio wow, I'm forgetting the, developers right now. Anyway, I believe they put out, like, DLC that kinda, like, rectified it a little bit,
Okay.
but yeah, yeah, super pandered at the time.
I don't know for sure if you've played the last 3 games on this list.
Okay,
Imma just tell you that straight up. I know for a fact you have not played one of them,
okay, that's
so
fine.
I
I
don't
could
think it would typically be in your wheelhouse.
I could still probably get it with some hints, with
You
some
know, for
coaching.
sure, for sure. So this game specifically that I'm talking about that I know you haven't played,
Mhm.
it is based on a very popular franchise that was originally a book franchise.
Based off a very popular franchise that is originally a book franchise. Okay. Is it fantasy?
Yes.
Is it Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Is, um okay. Do you know what year it came out?
Again, I can find out real quick. This is 2014.
People really thought this was bad? I don't I
Do you know
played
the
this.
game?
I think so, but I don't think the ending was bad. Hmm,
Here, I'm gonna read the like why it's bad, but I'm just
okay,
gonna block out the name if it comes up.
okay.
When playing a Lord of the Rings game set in a period where fighting Sauron is an option, then players will want to fight Sauron. Going toe to toe with one of the biggest bad guys to exist is an incredibly exciting prospect. However, this game somehow manages to completely ruin this, making the game's ending feel like a hurried letdown. The final battle with the fearsome Dark Lord is reduced to a generic quick time event. Worse still, Sauron isn't even the toughest boss of the game, making what should be an epic battle feel anticlimactic. Then, this game ends abruptly after a brief cutscene, spoiling an otherwise fantastic game.
Yeah, it's Shadow of Mordor.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, yep. I mean, I I thought the game was fun. I mean, the ending,
Yeah.
sure, it's definitely not like faithful to the canon,
Mhm.
especially towards the end. But I mean, such a fun game to play. It's like it's an Arkham Asylum like, Pat. So like
Yeah.
or Asylum like, it's an Arkham like. So like the combat is very much similar to the Arkham games with like the parry and the dodging and all that. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But I
I
get it.
I
The
had
ending isn't
no
weird.
idea you played this game, Terry.
This is like my
And
one of my first PS4 games that I played.
really?
When I got my PS4, this is like one of the first games.
Well, I'm sorry for putting you in a box, you know?
Yeah, dog, come on.
That's I'm so sorry. That's
I'm
terrible.
I'm a variety gamer, dog. Come on.
You are, you are. Alright, so you only got 2 games left. They are both sequels.
Okay.
It from what I know, they both have several games within their series.
Okay.
One of them is a much earlier sequel than another one.
Okay. Is one of them on PlayStation 4? No, let's go 3. Is one of them PS3 gen?
From what I'm seeing, one of them is a PS4 generation. The other, I would think, would be PS2. It came out in this one came out in 2004.
2004.
Mhm.
Okay, that has to be PS2. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, actually, this
Man.
says PlayStation 3. My bad.
Did PlayStation 3 come out that early?
I don't remember
Huh.
that coming out that
I
early. That's kind of
I
crazy.
don't either.
This is from Valve.
Valve is the 2004 one.
Mhm.
So it's PC. That's why it's on PC originally, I believe. It's a sequel. It's either Half-Life 2 or Portal 2, and I don't really know how Half-Life 2 ends, is the
Mhm.
problem. I know how
Mhm.
Portal
Mhm.
2 ends, like, the big bad gets, like, transported to the moon or something. I don't really know when either of them came out.
When you think
Ah,
about Portal 2, do you think that's a good ending or a bad ending?
I'm kinda like, about it. I mean, I've never played the games, so,
Yeah.
I mean, I've just watched, like, the videos on it. So, to me, it's kinda like, "Oh, yeah, that's an ending." I don't really feel either way about it.
Okay.
You asking me that question, though, like, makes me feel like you're trying to steer me in a better direction. So, I'm gonna say Half-Life 2.
That's right. Half-Life
Ah.
2, number 9.
Blessed, blessed, blessed. Yeah, Half-Life is a franchise I just kinda, like, really know next to nothing about,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Alright. So, you were down to 1 game left. It is number 5 on this list, and I will tell you this, it is the 5th game in this franchise.
Jesus Christ. Okay, 5th game in the
This
franchise.
this game is PlayStation 4 era.
Okay. Is this is this game set in, like, a more realistic reality? As in, like, a reality that's, like, close to ours?
I believe so,
Okay.
just based
This
on
game
the picture. I haven't played this game, but
Okay,
just
I
based
trust
on
you,
the
though.
picture of the poster, it looks
Mhm.
like, it's there's no, like, aliens or anything like that from
Sure,
what I can
sure.
tell.
Okay, so 5th game, that leads my brain is, like, leaning towards Uncharted because that has, like, a good amount of games in it, and Uncharted is kinda based in our reality.
Mhm, mhm.
PS4 era.
I don't know I don't know how much of a spoiler this would be for you. Do you want me to tell you the bad guy's name?
Mm, yeah, tell me the bad guy's name.
It is Doomsday cult leader Joseph Seed.
Okay, now I'm between 2 franchises because, like, I'm not really too familiar with either of them. So I'm still kinda
Okay.
leaning towards Uncharted, but I'm also leaning towards Far Cry now.
Mhm.
Doomsday cult leader, Joseph Seed. I think one of the Far Cries had to do with a Doomsday cult. So so now I'm leaning towards Far Cry, but now which
Mhm.
one? Far Cry you said it's the 5th one?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it must just be Far Cry 5,
It
right?
is Far Cry 5, Terry.
Awesome, awesome. There's no,
Very
like,
good.
subtitle, right? Like, just it's just Far
Nope.
Cry 5? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Perfect. That's the game that I've never played. I've played Shadow of Mordor, but I've never played a Far
Okay.
Cry game.
Which is crazy because I would totally expect you to play that versus
I
Shadow of
know.
Mordor.
I know. I'm not a shooter guy. I like slashing
I was
things
gonna
with a
say,
sword, so
that's fair. That's totally
yeah.
fair. Well, Terry, that's
Jeez,
our
man.
list. Very good.
Fantastic, fantastic.
And from what I can see, you had up to the first leg, I believe,
Mhm.
because you had
Okay.
4 wrong. So,
Mhm.
it's pretty good.
Listen. I'm bad at games. I'm bad at guessing. Just I appreciate the hints and the coaching.
We are gonna take a quick break, and we'll come back. We'll play one more game, and then we'll talk all about Naruto.
Let's do it.
All right, we are back.
Woo.
Terry, we got one more game for you before we start talking about Naruto. We here at Double Kick Bonus Level, we have video game franchises that are near and dear to our hearts. But now, Terry, I need you to decide which one you have to kill,
Mhm.
which one can no longer exist. Terry, you've heard of Kiss, Mary Kill, we'll say.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Our
We
PG-13
have
podcast.
That's right. We have a bit of a twist on that. We have remake, sequel, or destroy.
I like it.
So I'm going to give you 3 video games. You have to tell me which one you would want a remake for, which one you would
Mhm,
want a sequel to, and which one
mhm.
can no longer exist, is actually erased from existence,
Ooh,
never existed at all.
okay. I'm down for
So
this.
the games I have for you, Terry, Kingdom Hearts, and I'm talking the whole franchise,
The whole franchise, okay.
Skyrim, had to do it to you,
You're just playing them on
or
heartstrings.
Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Wow,
I'm really hurting you here. I'm really hurting you here.
wow. Okay, I see what you're doing.
Mhm,
I see what you're
mhm.
doing. I see what you're doing. This is tough. This
I
is
can't
tough.
make
These
this
are
easy
3
for you.
No, my god. These are 3 games that are, like, pivotal at, like, each point of my life.
Mhm,
You got Kingdom Hearts, the classic franchise. Kingdom Hearts hit me at just, like, the perfect age. I was, like, 10 years old, fell in love,
mhm,
Skyrim is obviously Skyrim, like, one the best game ever to ever exist, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the best Pokemon games.
mhm,
So,
mhm.
none of this is gonna be easy, unfortunately. Man. Looking at my little list here. Alright, so let's just get
Let's just
started,
do
I
it,
guess. You just gotta
right?
do it.
Mhm.
As for remake, so when I think of remake, like, I'll think of a game that's, like, it's already perfect, and I kinda really don't want too many changes to I'm gonna say Skyrim.
Okay.
Something like Skyrim's kinda perfect as it is, you
Mhm,
know?
mhm.
What's it called? Oblivion just got its remaster.
Right.
So I feel like, Skyrim with a fresh coat of paint, you don't mean, make too many changes. Leave it
Mhm.
as it is, just make it prettier or, make some of the combat mechanics a little better, less floaty. We'll remake Skyrim.
Alright. I find it interesting that you reject the idea of Elder Scrolls 6, but okay, that's fine.
Why would I want something new when I could just dive back into my old habits, man? Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna come out, and I'm still
It's
rocking
never
with
coming out, Terry.
it. Shut up.
It's never
You shut
coming
your mouth.
out.
You shut your mouth. That's the next thing they're working on. We'll be 40 by the time it comes out, but it'll come out. Shut your mouth. All right. You know what's funny? The Oblivion remaster came out. I made my character, I played a couple missions or whatever, and then like a week later, I'm like, I'm gonna play Skyrim again, and I made a new character.
Are you I don't know how familiar you are with, like, the Star Wars franchise, but I remember seeing a meme right when Oblivion Remaster came out that was, it's the scene where, like, Kylo Ren and Han Solo are, like, on the bridge,
Mhm.
and Kylo Ren's like, "I need your help," and he's about to kill him, and the meme is just, like, the creator of the Skyrim or, like, Oblivion games, and it's, uh, Elder Scrolls 6 is Han Solo, and he's like,
Mhm.
"I I need you to I need your help with this," and then he just stabs somebody, he's like, "I'm gonna remake Skyrim before we make Elder Scrolls 6."
Okay. In that case, I don't want it remade. If it's gonna interfere with Elder Scrolls 6, just leave it alone, please. Let the modders do what they want with Skyrim. They've already basically remade that game. Just give
Right,
us Elder Scrolls 6. Oh, God, it's awful.
right,
It's a
but
we
you
live in a dark world. Speaking of dark,
Mm,
um, for my sequel choice, Pat,
mhm, mhm.
going Kingdom Hearts.
Wow,
Yep,
okay,
I'm going
okay.
Kingdom Hearts.
You want Kingdom Hearts 4 or you want, like, a side game or something?
I want Kingdom Hearts 4. I want it really badly,
Yeah,
actually.
okay.
Yeah, because with Kingdom Hearts 3, it's kinda viewed as, like, a disappointing entry.
Right,
There were
right.
a lot of choices made. One particular choice with me is kinda like the straying away from the Final Fantasy element of Kingdom
Mm,
Hearts and really
mhm.
leaning into, like, the Disney element. I mean, the Disney element was always there, and it was always, like, a main
Yeah.
part of it, but it was just, it there was a magic there that wasn't there with Kingdom Hearts 3. But with Kingdom Hearts 4, it really looks like they're, at least from what we've seen so far, it's really leaning into, like, that, Final Fantasy 15 aesthetic. It looks really cool, and we'll see what it
Yeah,
looks like, but I'm
it's,
just
like, set in the real world, right? Like
kinda like Sora is technically dead. So this
okay.
world that he's in, like Sora, the art style and Sora's outfits always change depending on what worlds
Yeah.
he's in usually. So that's kind
Mhm.
of this world's aesthetic. So we'll see what happens when he goes to like different worlds. But
Okay.
it looks really cool. I'm excited. And I think that they'll take like the fans' response from Kingdom Hearts 3 and like
Mm,
keep that in mind as as they're making this one. Hopefully, at least.
yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, I'm really excited for Kingdom Hearts 4, and unfortunately, that means we gotta destroy, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, man.
Destroy,
I know.
that was why I reacted so big to you saying you want a sequel to Kingdom Hearts because you of all people
I don't
love
feel good
Heart
about it.
Gold, Soul Silver.
I don't feel good about it, that's the thing. I don't.
Mhm,
No matter what
mhm.
choice I made here, I wasn't gonna feel good about it.
So you're saying the definitive version of Gen 2 is just plain old silver, gold.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing.
Mhm.
That version is still good. It's and I know you don't believe so,
Is
mister,
it?
like,
Is it?
no, it is. If I will replay, like, original Crystal any day. That was,
Sure.
like that was, my pivotal childhood, like, Pokemon game. Like, I played, Fire Red and, like, Blue, not when they came out, because I think they came out in '96, but, that was,
Yeah.
like, my first one when I played. I didn't know how to read, though, at the time, so I was kinda just mashing buttons,
Right,
but
right.
Crystal was the one I played when I knew how to read, and I'm like, "Oh, this is it, baby." Like, I'm
Mhm.
in it. But, yeah, I think that version still holds up, and I think the loss of Soul Silver and Heart Gold, while, hurts,
Tragic.
tragic,
Tragic.
I can't lose. Anything I was gonna lose was gonna hurt, but that's my
Yeah.
choice, and I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. I'm not
Alright,
explaining
alright,
myself anymore. I'm not explaining myself.
alright.
God.
That's valid. That's so valid.
Leave me alone. All right, you know what? I wanna ask you one. You weren't prepared for
Ooh,
this,
okay,
but I'm
okay.
gonna ask you one. I'm gonna ask you
Sure,
one.
let's do
All
it.
right,
Let's do it.
Patrick,
Mhm,
your 3 games for remake, sequel, or destroy.
mhm.
I'm gonna do the whole franchise in general.
Okay, sure.
Whole franchises in general. Sly Cooper,
Ooh, okay,
Pokemon.
okay, okay,
Actually, no. Okay, I'm gonna have to do games because we have a remake in here. So
okay,
let's do specific games. I'm gonna pick the best of each one. Sly Cooper
sure.
2.
Oh,
I think 2
100%.
is the best one.
Right,
Absolutely. Let's do
absolutely.
Pokemon. Let's do Pokemon Emerald,
Ooh, okay.
and let's do the latest Astrobot.
Oh, oh, how could you do
Mm,
this to me?
mhm.
Okay, let's think about this. What do I want the remake to be? We don't need to remake Astrobot.
Right, right.
We don't need to do that.
Knowing Sony though, that they would probably do it because they just
Oh,
remade
for
like
sure. For
remastered Horizon
sure.
Zero Dawn, and it's like why we don't need this.
Right. Um, I am gonna say I want a sequel to Astrobot.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
Astrobot so bad.
Imagine like they already did so much with that game. Imagine
Mhm.
like the new ideas they could bring into it.
Oh,
Like
man.
that team is so creative. Like
I
with
just
what they did with that game.
I think I love platformers the most just because it's so, like it's frustrating, but it's also, like, rewarding when you finally get it. Like,
Yeah.
we've talked about it before, but, like, that one level that just drove us both crazy in Astrobot, like, it just
Yeah.
when you
What
finally
was
made it to the end and you're like, "Oh, yes! Get me
there's
out of
no
here.
it's
Get
like
me
beating
out of here."
a Dark Souls or like Bloodborne boss. It's like you finally did it. It's like,
Yeah,
that pure joy. And what was cool about Astrobot is like when you failed, it started you over like right away. So like you were
yeah.
right back into it. There was no like loading screen or like nothing that
Mhm.
took forever. So yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Whew, and now here we are. Um,
yeah.
if we're being specific, I think I want to remake Sly 2 and destroy
Wow.
Pokemon Emerald.
Wow.
So here's my thought process. I love Sly 2. It like you said, it's one of the best games, like, of
Mhm.
my childhood,
Mhm.
and, like, a remaster or a remake of that, like, with modern graphics and everything would be incredible.
So good, dude. So good. Dude, when Sly got kidnapped by what's her name? The spider lady. The
Oh,
spider
yeah,
lady.
yeah.
When
Mhm,
Sly got kidnapped, and you had to just something happened to Murray too, I think. You had to just play that level as like Bentley. I was on a
mhm,
mission. And I'm like, you
bro.
give my boy back right now.
Give me
Like,
my mans. Yeah,
dude, such a good game. Such a
yeah.
good game.
I yeah. I would just love a modern take on that game so much. And, like, I love Pokemon Emerald, you know this,
Yeah.
but if I feel better about it not destroying the entire Pokemon franchise because
Sure.
I still have Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, and I
Yeah.
think honestly, as a game now, I'd rather play those than base Emerald. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
I love the graphics of Emerald more just because that's more, like, nostalgic for me, but,
mhm.
like, that game experience when you're flying on Latios or Latias, like,
Yeah.
over the city and you can experience the map that way, it blows your mind as a kid.
That
It's
was
one of the
s
best things Pokemon's ever done.
yeah, subjectively, those are better games, no doubt
Yeah.
about it. The nostalgia factor for Emerald, I think for us old men, it
Mhm,
definitely carries a lot of it. But yeah, those are fantastic remakes and definitely fill the void.
mhm,
So,
mhm.
I respect your choices. I respect your choices. Honestly,
Thank you, thank you. It was
I think I
tough.
would've made this I would've made the same choice. I would've made the same
Yeah,
choice.
yeah.
Maybe
I
it
think
wasn't super fair with Pokemon Emerald already having Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, so that kinda made
that's
it
what saved me, bro. That's what
a
saved
little
me.
easier. I should have said, like, what's another Pokemon game you like? I don't even know. For,
Like Legends Arceus or something.
Legends Arceus, yeah. Yeah. Would you consider, like, it's hard to say because it's not even out yet, but would you, like,
Mhm.
say ZA is, like, the successor to that? Or does that fill the would that fill the void of, like, your Arceus love just based off of, like, what we know so far of it?
No.
Yeah.
No. It
What did
just
you what was it about Arceus that you really enjoyed then?
I like the concept of, like, this game is more about catching Pokemon. It's more about, like, discovering the world of Pokemon and just, like, going out and, like, literally, like, your job is to fill the Pokédex. That's the
Yeah.
main story of the game. It's not to collect badges, it's not to get no but, like, even it has, like, the boss fights in it that, like, are incredible, especially that fight at the end where you have,
Mhm.
like, 2 stages. You have to beat I forget his name,
I forget it too,
but
yeah.
you have to beat his 6 Pokemon, and then he has Giratina, and then Giratina shift forms, and you're like, "Oh my god, like, my Pokemon are
Please.
depleted right now. This is murder."
Please.
But, and just, like, even the art style, like, it was just so different from what we had been getting out of
Such,
Pokemon
like, a
lately.
cool, like, watercolor, like, aesthetic.
Yeah,
Looked really
yeah.
cool, yeah.
And, like, Legends ZA, from what I've seen, it's just, like, it just looks like another Scarlet Violet, looks like another Sword and Shield that you're just like,
Yeah.
"Okay." I don't know what the plot of the game is, obviously, um, but it just I don't know. I don't know. I'm not getting the same vibe from it. That's disappointing to
Yeah.
me.
I agree. It was the aesthetic, the old-timey world of Arceus that I really liked. I wasn't a big fan of, like, just repeatedly catching the same Pokemon over and over again, but, I mean, there were
Yeah.
other aspects of it that I really enjoyed. There was, like, a light, like, town building aspect to it
Yeah.
too, like,
Yeah.
there were a lot of cool things, a lot of cool ideas. I'm not We've already talked it to death on earlier episodes, but yeah, with ZA, I'm not as excited, but I'll still play it
Yeah.
and give it a shot, and we'll see what's
Yeah,
up.
I'll still get it, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Anywho, anywho,
Anywho.
yeah.
Alright. I got one more round for you.
Okay,
And this one I'm really curious about because I'm specifically going to take games that we've talked about on the podcast
okay.
and I want to see your opinion. So the first one, oh, one of my headphones just died. Yeah, yeah. Um, the first game I got is Sea of Stars.
Okay.
The next game is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. hmm And the last one I got for you, Terry, is Assassin's Creed. And I'm talking the whole franchise.
Okay, okay. Pat,
hmm
somehow, in some way, might be a little easier for me.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I think I know my answers right off the bat, actually.
Let's do it.
So let's do it. Give me a sequel to Sea of Stars.
Mm,
How could you not? How could
how
you
could you
not?
not?
How could you not? Um, One of the most fun games that I've played ever.
Mhm.
Art style, music, colors, world. Um, there's a lot to say about it. A lot I've already said.
Yeah.
I'm playing through it again right now, so I can get to the free DLC that just dropped, Throws of the
Mhm.
Watchmaker.
Mhm.
What a wonderful game. Technically, there is a sequel, Pat. It's called
Right.
The Messenger, right? But it takes place
Mhm.
like years and years and years afterwards. And that game technically it came out before Sea of Stars,
Yeah.
but still, a direct sequel to that would be so cool. Maybe see and Zale
Valere.
and Valere grown up like
Mhm.
adults. That'd be really
As,
cool.
like, true Solstice warriors, yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
That'd be
Oh, that'd be
dope.
so cool. Honestly, okay. Honestly, give me that. Give
Honestly,
me that.
give me that.
All right, cool. So give me this one. This one's gonna sound corny because I mean, in a sense, it is getting an upgrade when Switch 2 comes out. But I mean, I guess I would take a remake to Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd take a
Okay.
remake. Breath of the Wild was such a special game. Like when I
Yeah.
first got my Switch, like, and you have a whole open world Zelda game like in your hands.
Mhm.
Amazing, amazing. I'm not sure what they could do with the remake, because I don't really want a graphical update because I really like the low key art style they have to it right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And with the Switch 2, it's getting a 60 frames per second mode. Just getting some like quality of life updates. So I guess technically, in a sense, that is like the low level remake that we're getting. So I'll take that. In essence, though, what this really came down to, Pat, was I wanted to pick a franchise to destroy first off, and subjectively, I guess I have to destroy the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it honestly, yeah. I in retrospect, I probably would have picked a third game for you, but like the Breath of the Wild is such to your point, like it's a game for everybody. There's so
Mhm,
much in it that like there's crafting, there's just exploration, there's puzzles, there's mystery, like and there's difficulty. Like you get to like you could do the Ganon fight straight up from the Great Plateau. Like you could
mhm.
run there. I've seen speedrunners do it.
Yep, you could
Uh
finish that game in, like, a minute. Not
it's
actually, but
it's wild.
yeah.
But yeah, I think Assassin's Creed, there's so many like highs and lows that like
Yeah.
it might be
Yeah.
better just to destroy it just to get away from that heartache.
Just to, like the new Assassin's Creed Shadows is, like, actually pretty, people like it a lot, but just, like, other than that, it hasn't had the same highs since, you know, uh, early PS4
Mhm.
era. It's a franchise that's, like, I think having an identity crisis,
Yeah,
and that just speaks to, like, Ubisoft as a company in general right now. It's just like, it's weird, man. It's weird. So maybe it's better to just pull the plug and be like, you know what, you can rest now. You can rest
yeah,
now. Let
yeah.
something else shine.
I think that's poetic, Terry. I like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, Pat.
I like it. I like it.
Absolutely.
Um, that's all I got. Unless you got another round from me.
I can't think of anything off the
Um,
bat, so that might just be it.
all right, I like it. We're gonna take one more break, and then we'll be back to talk all about the world of the Shinobi Naruto. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for our final part in this episode today. We are here to talk about a childhood favorite,
Ooh.
Naruto.
Mhm.
Now, Terry, I know we kind of touched on this earlier, but when you're growing up, you're watching Naruto on like Toonami or on like whatever platform you're watching it on. There's just this like sense of like it's one of those franchises where you immediately get sucked in and you're like, I want to be a ninja. I
Mhm.
want to be able to control chakra and spit out a fireball. Like
Mhm.
getting to re-experience this as an adult was so interesting for me because I'm living my nostalgia as we're watching these episodes and like we're going through the different arcs. And then Kim is watching it for the first time. And it's so funny because she has like this like adult lens and she's experienced other types of media and she's just like, "Oh, this is kind of dumb." Like there are so many points where I'm like, "Oh, this is great. This is a great episode." And she's just like, "I don't know. I don't
I
know. This is
mean
pretty mid."
I mean, that's justifiable, probably.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And again, I think it's interesting just because watching it with nostalgia, I'm like, "Oh, I remember this being so awesome." And then like she starts like, and then I'm like really paying attention to it and I'm like really digesting it. I'm like, "Oh, maybe this doesn't live up to my memory of it."
Oh, maybe you're right, maybe you're right. Yeah, it's again. when you're 10 years old, 11,
Mhm.
12,
Mhm.
whatever, you're watching this show, coolest thing in the world. Unironically, the coolest thing in the world. I mean, it's still, I mean, in some ways, it's still the coolest thing in the world. But yeah, you want to be a ninja. You wanna do this jutsu. Like,
Mhm.
Naruto,
Mhm.
Sasuke, Neji was the one for me. I'm like, "Neji's the coolest dude ever." The Byakugan and this, like,
Mhm.
8
Mhm.
trigram, 64 palm stuff is the coolest thing. You pick your characters and you wanna be that character. You wanna be Rock Lee. You wanna be Sasuke. You wanna be Naruto. And you're going around in your backyard and you're doing, like, the hand
Mhm.
signs. I
Mhm.
remember
Mhm. Mhm.
going on YouTube at the time and looking up the specific hand signs for the
Yeah, yeah,
Chidori,
yeah.
and I would, like, practice it over and over and over again.
Mhm.
I got my first, like, hidden leaf headband from, like,
Oh, yeah.
Spirit Halloween when I was younger, and I was the coolest dude ever,
Ooh. Yeah.
unironically. But, yeah, I mean, and then you grow up and, that and then you look at it through a different lens, you're like, "Man, this pacing is kinda whack."
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
of the story elements is kinda like, okay, whatever." But I mean, Naruto was really it wasn't the first shonen, but it was the first shonen for me.
Right.
Um, and it really set the stage for, what comes after. I think a lot of shonen have really done it better since then. I think,
Mhm.
My Hero Academia is a good example of it.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but done it a little better, and I think they just get better over time, so they needed this jumping off point, I feel like. So, yeah, but again, looking at it through an adult lens must be such a different experience,
Mhm.
for you and both Kimberly. It's just
Yeah.
wild.
All right, so we are going to now get into major spoilers of the entire Naruto franchise, and we're talking Naruto, Naruto Shippuden, Boruto, even any of the side
Oof.
movies or anything like that. So, if you're aware of Naruto, great, thanks for coming. If you're not, we'll see you next time,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
stick around for the fun.
It'll be fun talk,
But
it'll be fun talk.
um, God, where do I want to begin? So, okay, let's stick with this theme of like childhood. So like I remember specifically watching Naruto. My younger brother and I shared a room at my dad's house or at
Mhm,
both of our parents, but like we'd be watching it at my dad's house because it was like a Saturday night on Toonami and we're watching the Zabuza arc and
mhm.
there's just something in the hidden mist, bro, that you're just like, wow, this this show is different. This
Coolest
show,
thing.
it's your first like experience into like anime, like as a kid, and you're just like the whole time you're watching, especially in that arc, like Naruto first experiences like the Nine Tails power,
Mhm.
and you're just like, why don't we do that more? Do that more,
Right.
Naruto. Let's get more of that going.
Do that again, do that again, do it again. Yes,
Right.
absolutely, and it's like it was that arc specifically, like, when it first came out, I remember watching it, I think it was either Toonami or maybe even Adult Swim, but it was definitely, like,
Hmm.
late at night, and, at that time, we were watching cartoons and stuff, and then Naruto comes on, and it's like, "Oh, this is a dark cartoon. This is a
Hmm.
cool cartoon, like,
Hmm.
I feel cool just watching this," and yeah, that Zabuza arc when things, like, really first start getting intense and, like, Sasuke gets, like, impaled by a
He
million
dies.
needles. He
He
died.
dies. He
You're
straight
right.
up like they kill him.
Right, dude, and it's just like, this is the coolest thing in the world. Haku, Zabuza, like, these
Mhm,
feel like
mhm.
some cool villains, and I don't know if we're gonna go through, like, each arc, in order, but, like, it's just that was the coolest thing at the time.
It sets the tone for, like, what the franchise is capable of in a way that you're like, "Oh, this can hit comedy, this can hit, like, drama, this can hit action." There's so much here that we can play with these characters in this world, and you're just like, "Wow, this show is gonna be something special."
Yeah, and it like each character, each ninja, each like member of the Konoha 12,
Mhm.
were just like big characters in one way or another. They each had their own
Yeah.
power. They each had their own
Mhm.
like fighting style. So if you didn't connect with the main cast, there was a side
Yeah.
character for you to connect to. Again, like I really like. fell in love with Neji and his fighting style, but there were plenty of Rock Lee people out there. There might have been a
Ugh,
couple Kiba people out there.
I don't
Might
wanna
have.
know those people.
I don't wanna know them either, probably smell, like, really bad, but and if you were a 10-10 person, that's cool too, like,
I'm
there
sad
was
for you,
I'm
personally,
s
I'm
I'm
sad for you.
sorry, you probably get, like,
You
no
get
screen
nothing.
time. You get
You're
no
starving for attention.
but, if you are a 10-10 person, I respect you because you're in it for the long haul, and,
Oh,
that's
sure.
that's love right there. That's love.
I I would love to see a 10-10 fan, like, from day 1, like, "That's my
Mhm,
girl, that's the one I'm gonna follow." Like, when she finally gets, like, the legendary, like, fan in, like, the
mhm.
war towards the end of Shippuden, you're like, "Yeah, let's go." And then
"I've
she, like,
been
runs out
here."
of chakra.
Right,
And you're
right.
just like, "Oh, 10-10, no, don't do this to us."
We had our moment, please. Yeah, we'll talk about the ending and what happens with all that stuff
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. I
But yeah,
I wanna get
yeah.
into real quick, when we first started this rewatch, I remember we were talking about it with our friend Shots, and Shots had a very specific thing, I don't know if you remember. He said that OG Naruto, the original series, is a better show because it's a better portrayal of, like, ninja, and then Shippuden just gets into, like, more superhero, like, stuff because of everything, like, all the power scaling and stuff that Naruto and Sasuke do. I I wanna know your thoughts on that before you to give you some time to formulate your thoughts.
Mhm,
I I agree that OG Naruto is a better show about ninjas, and I honestly think it's a better show, like, with the ensemble cast,
okay.
but I think Shippuden's the better show in
Mhm,
general. I think it's got the better story. I think the pacing in OG Naruto goes a little weird at times. Plus, and people like what they like, but personally for me, I'm not a big filler guy. I don't love
mhm.
the filler episodes a lot of the time. So like after the Sasuke retrieval arc, there's like 120 episodes left of Naruto that I'm just like, I'm not watching this. There's no
Right.
point to this.
I'm not doing this. Yeah.
Um,
I'm I'm going off broad strokes here. Did you have more thought, like more to say?
no, no.
Okay, okay. I'm trying to formulate. I'm going off broad strokes here. I didn't do a rewatch like you did.
Mhm,
But it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Like with OG Naruto, I liked that there were a lot of there's a lot of mystique. There were a lot
mhm,
of reveals. So, Sasuke at the beginning, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill my older brother. I'm gonna kill my older brother." And then when his older brother finally shows up, I'm like,
mhm.
"Whoa, whoa, whoa, this is the
Yeah.
coolest villain I've ever seen, hands down." Like Itachi first showing up, crazy. And not saying like his Shippuden stuff wasn't like absolutely the coolest stuff ever. Um, but but just those OG reveals in
Mhm,
Naruto original series was just like the coolest stuff ever. But I mean, Shippuden had those moments, dog. Like
mhm,
the pain
mhm.
fight
The
is
pain
might
fight.
just God, that might just be the best arc ever, like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
all of Naruto.
I think it is. I
Uh
think it is.
yeah, dude. And the Danzo stuff when Sasuke gets his get back on Danzo,
Ooh,
so satisfying. I
ooh.
think, yeah, I think overall Shippuden might be better.
Yeah.
Not saying OG is, like, worse for it, but
Mhm.
Shippuden just has the better moments overall. Like, each big Akatsuki fight, what felt like a moment. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I really looked forward to that. Like, "Oh, the next Akatsuki, they're about to do battle for him. This is gonna span, like, 20 episodes, and it's gonna be the
Mhm,
coolest stuff ever." Like, I can't wait to
mhm.
see who fights because like, it was cool to see the Akatsuki fight, but it was cooler to see which of the good guys were going against them because they
Yeah,
really got their moment
yeah.
to shine. Like
Mhm.
Shikamaru against Hidan,
Done, bro.
coolest thing ever. Kakashi against Hidan's partner, Kakuzu?
Kakuzu, yeah, yeah.
Kakuzu, coolest moment ever. So it really felt like each like good guy ninja got a moment to
Mhm.
shine against those Akatsuki members and show off, like, what they could do, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I wanna touch on so many points that you just made, but I think Shippuden has a better structure overall because, like, you can focus each season on, like, a specific member of the Akatsuki and who's going to stop them and how they're gonna do it, and I think it just has a better roadmap versus the original series where you're just like, "Okay, we finished this mission. We're gonna go on another mission. Okay, now we have the tuning exams. Okay, well, the tuning exams get interrupted by a massive, like, political, like, attempted
Like
takeover of the
like,
Hidden Leaf," and
terrorist operation.
right, right, right. Um, and then, okay, well, we just lost the 3rd Hokage. We gotta go find a new Hokage. Like, it just felt like every point in Shippuden or in OG Naruto was like, this point exists to get us to the next point, and then
Sure.
that point exists to get us to the next point. Where like Shippuden is like, you could do any of those Akatsuki members in any order, and it still like makes sense structurally because you have to take out each member of the Akatsuki because they are the threat.
Right, right, and I think it definitely goes off through the wheels a little at the end, but towards
We'll
the
get
beginning,
there.
yeah, when it was, like, clear that, like, "Okay, here are the bad guys,
Yep.
here's why they're the bad guys, and we're
Hmm.
taking them out in order," um, that felt very clear, very, like, organized, and, like, it made sense. Not saying, like, the original Naruto, like, not saying it was worse for it. Again, some legendary arcs. The Sasuke retrieval arc,
Hmm.
amazing. The
Incredible.
first fight between Sasuke and Naruto at the waterfalls, like,
Ooh.
it's
Ooh.
legendary. It's legendary.
Hmm. Hmm.
I love, like, Sasuke's, like, curse form. I think that's the coolest
Oh
thing
yeah.
ever. Yeah, absolutely.
Kim
So
doesn't like it because the wings are hands,
ah,
and
that's
she
why it's so
finds that
cool, though.
creepy.
That's why it's cool. It's like, "What? In their
I agree.
hands?"
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like, and again, to Shots' point, like the original series is better if you want to like watch like ninjas and like shinobi existing in this world with these like uh essentially magic powers that they have.
Yeah.
And like, the tuning exams are great for that where like you get to see each character get highlighted in a different way. I will say though, some of the tuning exams, like you remember a lot of like the really cool like Gaara versus Rock Lee, Neji versus Naruto. For all of those, there's like uh oh my god, why am I blanking on this right
Like
now?
the Inos versus,
Sakura,
uh,
like
Sakura. Was it, the girl with the fan?
oh, Tamari versus
Tamari v
Tenten.
1010, right, right. The
And
ones
and
that
you're
don't get
just
as much
like,
love.
right, you're like, oh, that's over in 2 seconds. Choji's fight is literally like he's like bulking up and he becomes like the wheel, and then the one hidden sound ninja just stops him and then he's done.
Right,
And you're just
right.
like, "Oh, well, why did Choji get no love? Why does Choji not get an episode?" Like,
The budget don't account for that.
we spent a whole 3 episodes fighting Kiba, and we're like, we won't give Choji 5 minutes?
Did Kiba fight Sasuke in the
Kiba fought Naruto.
Oh, okay,
It was the
okay,
first round of the tuning exams, and the
okay.
whole time you're sitting there, and it's funny watching in retrospect because you're like, "Oh, like, he's gonna fight Kiba? That's crazy," and I'm like, "Kiba? Who cares? This is easy."
It's so funny. There are just, like, those ninjas that, like, are, like, worldwide panned, like
Right. Oh my
Kiba,
god.
the bug guy,
Oh, Shino. Oh my god.
Shino. Poor guy.
It's so crazy. It's like I get so many memes now on like TikTok or Instagram that are like, if you're tied up and you've been captured by the Akatsuki and you hear someone coming to rescue you, and the jutsu that gets called out is Fang over Fang. You're like, "Oh,
Call it
I'm
a day.
done.
Yep, you're
I'm
done.
dead. This guy ain't gonna save me. I'm
And
screwed."
what? You know what? It's cool though. You know what? He's fighting with his dog, the dog clan. It's cool
Bro,
stuff.
Give me
I
a
think it's
break.
cute.
Who cares?
What do you come on, give him a break. Toss the man a bone, bro.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Anyway, reeling it back a little bit though, it does it's cool because again, this is like the 3rd time I said it this episode, but I think
Mhm,
Naruto Real and Shippuden hit
mhm.
us at the right ages. Again,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
Naruto came out, I feel like we were kinda around the same age as the protagonist,
Yeah.
Naruto, and
Yeah.
then he grows up into Shippuden, and I think we were around the same age again.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's cool to look at it through that lens because that again, that it makes you project yourself onto the characters even more. They're around the
Yeah.
same age and they're doing like this cool stuff. And it made you feel like, again, how I feel like a generation older than us, how
Mhm.
Goku made them feel like you wanted to work harder. You wanted to, like, dude, like the Rock Lee fight with Gara, like that. I don't know why, but that, like,
Oh,
as a kid, I'm like, oh my God, if he can do this, I can do that. I can
I
do
can do
anything.
anything.
I can do
Yeah.
anything.
I
Um,
I wanna touch on Rock Lee versus Gaara real quick, just because of the lore that surrounds this fight, and I don't know if you remember
mhm.
the story, Terry, but, so this I remember specifically happened in 5th grade. We were watching Naruto, and we got to the tuning exams, and we're talking Rock Lee versus Gaara, and I made a bet with Malik, our friend, that it was 50 cents. It was a
Mhm,
50-cent bet,
mhm.
and I said that Rock Lee would beat Gaara, and he had read the manga. This is what gets me. He had read the manga, and he was like, "I'll take you on that bet, sure." And here's the thing, when we rewatched this, I'm telling Kim the story, and then we got through the entire fight, and she's like, "Oh, I definitely I wouldn't have given him the 50 cents because Rock Lee doesn't really lose. He physically
Right.
cannot keep going, but he would've if he
Mhm,
could."
mhm.
And, the whole it's so funny because the story structure around that fight is set up that, Rock Lee is clearly the underdog, and, you know, every other media that you watch, you get all this backstory for this underdog, and he finds a way to overcome the odds or whatever, and Naruto is just like, "Nah." Nah,
Yep.
Gaara's got a tailed beast at his side, "You're not winning."
Yeah.
But, it's such a subversion of, expectations because the whole time you're like, "Alright, well, when is Rock Lee gonna, he's taking off the ankle weights, okay, he's really gonna do it." And he gets a couple licks in, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
It's just not enough.
It's one of my first heartbreaks as a kid,
Yeah.
to be
Oh,
honest
yeah.
with you,
Oh, yeah.
because again, he takes off those weights. He's moving at supersonic speed. Gaara
Mhm.
gets hit for, like, the first time ever in his life, and
Yeah.
this is the time when Gaara's the villain. He's, like, has this red hair, he's, like, all moody and stuff, so he's obviously portrayed
Mhm.
as a villain at this point in time. Yeah, dog, and it's just like, Rock Lee is the upbeat guy you wanna root for, and he has no
Mhm.
jutsu, so he's the underdog, and he gets that lick in, and it's like, "Oh, like, anything goes right now." But yeah, Gaara had to win for the next couple arcs to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. I get it,
Right.
but, whatever. My man Rock Lee got a lick in.
Mhm. Mhm.
That wasn't the point in
Yeah.
time where Gaara was like, "My blood," right? That was, like, when he fought Sasuke, and that's when he, like,
Yeah.
freaked out? Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Copy. But, I mean, the Naruto, the first series really felt like the training arc, you know? It really
Yeah.
felt like the
Yeah.
everything to come. Let's showcase all these characters. Let's establish the world, and then Shippuden, everything opened up. Everything
Right.
opened up.
Right.
We'll get to the ending in a bit. I feel like that's like one of the last main talking points. But I wanna
Yeah.
know what your favorite arc overall out of like both two would
Oh,
be.
man. Um, I it's tough because I wanna lump, 3 of them together, but I don't know if I can. But, literally from Jiraiya versus Pain
Yeah.
through Sasuke versus Itachi, through Naruto versus
Yeah.
Pain, there's just, but I think if I have to pick one, it's gotta be Naruto versus Pain. It's gotta be Payne's Assault on the
How could
Leaf
it not
Village.
be?
Right, right.
There was everything at stake.
Mhm.
Everything. People were dying, dog. The
Left and right.
the the village got nuked.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Let's get into that quick, because like, I throughout watching this whole franchise, Kim and I, we started making like little jokes and stuff towards each other. What the only thing I would change in the Payne's Assault arc, every time there's like a filler episode, there's that music, the like do 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 do. Um, what in my mind, what I think would be amazing, I want them because they don't really do it a ton in Shippuden. They do it way more in OG Naruto.
Mhm.
I would like for them to sprinkle that music in throughout, like, even the filler arcs in Shippuden. I want to see, like, the daily life of the Hidden Leaf, sprinkled in. Because when you get to Payne's Assault, what I want them to name the episode something innocuous. You think it's gonna be a filler episode,
Oh my god.
and because the opening shot of that, like, arc is, they come into the Leaf Village, it's a random day in the Leaf. There's this little girl playing with, like, her grandmother, like, in the street.
Mhm.
What I want, Terry, I want them to be playing that music,
Oh my
and then
god.
you're like, "Oh, it's a filler episode, that's kinda weird, like, we're at a weird spot for that," and then it immediately, like, the music gets cut off midway, and then, like, the villainous, like, bad guy music comes, and that's when you're like, "Oh, no."
Oh, no, this world's about to know pain.
Oh, dude,
That'd
I
be that'd
think
be w that'd be so wild, bro.
I think it'd be incredible. I think Payne's the best villain of the entire franchise,
Mhm.
and like, especially when you get, like, the backstory behind Payne and everything, like, say what you want about Shippuden, but, like, the intention behind every villain, like, when you finally get their backstory and you understand, like, why they became what they are, like, it always made sense.
Mhm.
It always was like, oh, you could see how this person would, like, turn towards this, like, life of crime
Yeah.
because they've been through so much. And then you have Naruto as the perfect foil who's like, "Hey, look at I've been shunned my entire life. Let me show you the sad swing that I used to sit on."
Sure. Sure.
And I didn't do that. I didn't become a bad guy, even though I totally could have. I'm
Let me talk
here.
you out of being a bad guy
Yeah,
real quick.
yeah. And he does it. And people disrespect talk no jutsu, Terry. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense
Sure.
if in the world of Naruto, like, a lot of the themes are like you're repeating these, like, cycles of violence, cycles of, like, chaos. And Naruto is like, "Well, I'm here to stop that." Like, he's the child of prophecy. He's here to
Mhm.
bring, like, a whole new world order to, like, the shinobi world. The only way he can do that, like, he can't be the guy who beats you up. He has to be the
I
guy to
know,
talk you
it's
down off a now, don't get me wrong, he can beat you up. He
right,
can
right, right, of course.
absolutely wipe the floor with you if he has to,
Mhm.
but, like, he's the guy who's like, "Let me talk to you a little bit. Let me tell you why your thinking's wrong. Let me tell you why
Let's
my
chit
thinking's
chat.
right."
Right, right. Don't disrespect talk no jutsu is wild.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't know if it's a hot take or not, Pat,
Mm.
but Pain, better villain than Obito. What do you think?
Oh, I no, 100%, I agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
really like Obito as a character. I find him fascinating. But, like, if you're just talking, like, again, this man shows up to the Hidden Leaf Village. They invade the Leaf.
Just
They
walk
they
in there.
destroy they destroy these, like, Jonin who are, like, guarding, like, the outer gate. They, like, launch one of them in there, and then you have this guy who running through the village, wiping out shinobi left, right, and center. He kills Kakashi,
Mhm.
like, with a nail. He gets him,
Yep.
and, Kakashi's just, like, on the rock, like, it's over."
Mhm.
Um And he then is like, "All right, I'm gonna stop playing around." He starts flying up in the sky, and you're like, "What's he doing?" And if you don't know what's coming, like if you haven't read the manga or been spoiled or anything, you have no idea what this man's about to do. And then he's just like, "All right, let me hit him with this." Boo! And then just
Mm.
destroys the entire village. And again, these episodes started out with this like little girl playing in the street, and then she's running for her life, trying not to get like destroyed by like an avalanche of rubble that's just coming her
Mhm.
way. The only thing, and this is a take from Kim,
Okay.
so take it as you will. Kim thought they should have destroyed the faces on the mountain too.
I think that would've been cool. Yeah.
I think it would have. I understand why they do it because it's like it's it's the like beacon of hope for the Leaf Village,
Mhm.
and like you don't want to take the hope away. But like I think it would have meant a lot more if you
Yeah.
take out their little Mount Rushmore thing and just sort of like, nope, like these guys are gone too. None of
Absolutely.
your history matters. All this world now is pain.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd have been dope. Yeah, that'd been really cool. Just erase the entire Hokage mountain. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Man, Pain had so much aura, dude.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
that man was walking aura farming, and just
Yeah.
I understand why Obito was bad, but just, like,
Yeah.
nothing
Mhm.
compared to, like, Nagato's backstory, why he
Yeah.
became Pain, and then just, like, he's this, like, weak, frail body, like, in a mountain, like, far away, but he's just controlling all these,
Yeah.
like, bodies with the Rinnegan. So, so cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite arc too, like, just
Yeah.
the whole Pain arc and all that,
When
just
Naruto
amazing.
shows up, when he finally shows up, like, ready to battle in Sage mode, he's got that cool, like, flame cloak and everything. And again, I've seen so many memes on this where, like, it has that music too that's just like the
Mhm.
and then shows his face, and you're just like, "Oh, this is about to be insane."
Mhm. Mhm. It's about to be the
And then, like,
greatest fight ever.
he immediately shows up and like a pain goes to like attack like Tsunade, and he just slams down on him with a Rasengan and destroys him, and you're like, "Oh, Naruto's not playing around anymore.
He's different. Mans is
It's
different.
time to get
He
serious."
he got frog eyes. It's different. It's
I want
different.
I want your opinion on this. And I think generally people would agree, but like after that arc, after that pain fight, like that is when Naruto earns like the ability to be like, I'm gonna be the Hokage.
Yeah. No, I
I
agree. He
think
saved
I think it can't be denied after that.
Mhm. Yeah, he saved the village.
Yeah,
What can you say? What can you say?
right.
That and just, like, like, that's the next level. I mean, obviously, it's the next level. He just got Sage Jutsu and all that, but it's just
Mhm,
like, y it you take a turn with Naruto with him at that point in time. It's just like,
mhm.
this is a different show now. Like, this is
Yeah,
like, you followed him along his journey. The viewer obviously knows how strong Naruto is, but, like, now he's got the respect of the village. Now he's, like, on a different social platform, um, and it's just it's his show. Obviously, it's his show. It's named after him, but, like, it's really his show now at that point in time. Like, he's earned it for sure.
right,
But now
right.
but now after that arc is when we start, like, you know, the ending kinda begins, right?
Mhm,
I
mhm.
know we still got the 5 Kage summit. I think after the 5 Kage summit, though, that's when things start going downhill a little bit, in my personal opinion.
So, yeah, so at that point, we get we're getting into the end, and again, I think the cool thing about and, like, after the 5 Kage Summit, they declare, like, "Alright, we're going into the 4th Great Ninja War." Obito, who we don't know at the time, but he's calling himself Madara Uchiha at that point, is saying, "I'm declaring war on you. All the great nations, like, team up, and they're gonna fight together." And you're just like, "Okay, this is now ramping up into this thing." And, like, Terry, I don't know about you, but I enjoyed the 4th Great Ninja War. Like, I like the idea of, like, okay, well now we're gonna take all the characters that we've met in years prior. We're gonna like bring them back. We're gonna reanimate these dead characters, and they are now gonna fight the heroes. I think as a concept for like a long running show like this, it's so interesting because like you got like Kakashi versus Zabuza again, where
Sure.
he's gotta do it again. We're running it back for the one time. Like
Mhm, mhm,
um you get like Asuma Sensei like
mhm.
fighting Team 10 and like I thought we didn't touch on this before, but like Asuma's death affects Shikamaru the most. And Shikamaru is personally my favorite character, but I thought his reanimation was interesting because like it wasn't as much about Shikamaru this time. Now it was about Choji and like
Yeah,
how Choji feels like and you just got to see like some of these cool like dynamics of these characters. And I thought, like, the war arc itself was, like, interesting in that way, and then you had the whole thing with, like, the white Zetsu, like, they're first of all, they're just, like, a 10,000 of them. They're just
right.
here to wipe everybody out, but, like, now they're transforming into different ninja, and, like, now you don't know if, like, the guy you're fighting next to is, like, really him or if that's another white Zetsu clone.
Sure.
There's
Yeah, it
this
got a little
whole,
crazy.
like, mystery arc, like, around that where they're, like, trying to figure out how to, like, determine if white Setsu is here or if that's actually their like friend, their comrade. It's so the idea of it is so good. The problem with it is that it goes on for like 200 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Like
does.
when we started the war arc, I looked at Kim because it was only like episode like 300, I think at that point. And I looked at her and I was like, this is the rest of the show. And she's like,
Mhm.
"What?" And I was like, "Yeah, like, there's some epilogue stuff after this, but, like, this is it."
Strap
And
in.
she couldn't believe it.
Dog, it's just yeah, it goes on 5 ever, Pat. I don't know if you know this, but I never finished it. I never
You
finished the
never
sh
finished it.
I never finished the show. I got the ending from the games.
Wow.
Yeah, I got the ending
That's
from the games.
crazy.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. I know, like, some of the big stuff that happens, and obviously I watched some of it in, like,
Yeah,
retrospect, but
yeah.
dude, it got so long in the tooth, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, "I cannot finish this." I stopped watching, I think, like, right around, like, the Neji death scene,
Mm,
because
mm.
we were so far in at that point. I was like, "When is this gonna end, bro?"
You know what's
But yeah.
interesting? We had similar experiences because when I first watched this, like, I remember I caught up to the war arc. And I remember, like, watching, like, Naruto get his, like, tail beast powers. Ah, the little mini arc where, he meets his mom,
Yeah, that was cute.
and you get, like, the backstory on, like, what happened, like, how his mom and his dad died. I cried. Like, when
Yeah.
I first watched that, I was in tears. It was so
Mhm.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But I remember when I caught up to the anime, I started reading the manga, so I finished it that way.
Okay.
So I didn't like it was interesting to watch it fully play out in the anime this time because I was like, I don't remember exactly how the pacing of this anime goes at this point.
Mhm.
So Kim and I kind of got to experience that together. Um I think you'll agree that especially towards the end of it, there's so much that I would change if I was the writer of this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um so one of the main villains of the war is Obito. He is a presumed dead, like old comrade of like Kakashi's who died in like people thought he died in the third Great Ninja War. He is where Kakashi gets his Sharingan from, and the whole time you're watching it and you're like compelled by his story like he barely hangs on. He's being taken care of by like an old Madara Uchiha who is like grooming him into becoming like this evil person.
Yeah.
And then the other big villain is Madara Uchiha who's been reanimated. It's the real Madara and there's that
Mhm.
whole thing of like, okay, well, if this guy's the real Madara, who is this guy? Um, but I personally would take the end of the show, and I'd keep a lot of it the same. Like you can bring Madara like truly back to life, but now he's like
Mhm.
super powered because he has like the cells of like the first Hokage on like his chest. I don't know if you remember, he has like the head of the first Hokage on his chest.
Yeah, I remember the
Super
freaking
weird.
cells of the first Hokage. That's something
Right.
I'm gonna write that down because that's something I need to bring up too.
Okay.
Go on, though.
Um, but so keep all that, but like
Yeah.
Madara is the big bad. Like he's
Okay.
the one you have to stop.
Yeah.
You know, stop him from unleashing like the infinite Tsukuyomi, like all that, and then that's the end of the show.
Yeah.
Because Terry, you and I both know that once they do that, we get aliens. We
Right.
get aliens who are like the mother of all chakra and like her kids. And the show, and you're watching this and you're like, is this still a show about ninjas? Like, I don't understand what's happening now.
Dog, and it's just like, we don't need this. I think
No.
I think the Otsutsuki, I believe,
Otsutsuki. Yep.
Otsutsuki, I think that was definitely a setup for Boruto. They're like, "We need another world-ending threat to come back for the next thing because,
Yeah.
God forbid they let a series just gracefully die." Not die, but, end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, in my the way I would want it, I don't even
Mhm.
want the Madara stuff.
No.
Obito, like, I they just they set things up so high, like, with Obito absorbing the tail's beast, he gets the white form, and then
Yeah.
Madara takes it from him. He becomes the Jinchuriki, the white form. Boom,
Mhm.
Kagyu takes it from him, and it's just like,
Right.
I don't wanna keep, like, going up and then down, and then up and then down, and then up and then down, and it ends with Kagyu, like, I don't know who this is, I don't care. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Obito was built up from the start to be the big bad villain, and even at that point, like, we find out about him 3/4 into the series, like, Pain we thought Pain was the
Yeah.
big bad villain. So
Yeah.
it's such a back and forth and a back and a forth, like, just leave it at 1. Like,
Yeah.
maybe let Obito, like, betray Madara at the end and, like, kill him or something and, like, really become the big bad,
Right.
and then, like, let Kakashi and him duke it out and then the tailed beast. I don't know. I don't really know a perfect way to do this. I'm not the author and stuff, but it got really messy towards the end.
Yeah.
Um, I think I heard rumor, I might be wrong, so, viewers take this with a grain of salt, but I think I heard that, like, Kishimoto didn't really know about the Otsutsuki until, like, towards the end that he was gonna go that route. Um, Again, take that with a grain of salt. I think I heard that,
Yeah.
but it really feels that way. It really feels like that's something that was just, like, pushed into
Oh,
there.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then something that I wrote down that I wanted to bring up. I'm so sick about hearing about the first Hokage and his cells. Everybody wants his cells, bro. I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to hear about
Uh,
this. Like, stop using that as like a plot device to like become stronger or like why you can be immortal. Because the first Hokage has like superhero stem cells or something like that. It's like, I don't want to hear about this anymore. This is stupid. And then another thing, Pat, I'm
yeah.
tired of seeing the Hokages be reanimated. It's like the last time they're reanimated is like the 4th time they're reanimated, and they use it as a big deal. I'm like, "I don't care anymore. Let him die. I don't wanna see him
So,
anymore." This feels like
yeah.
such a plot device to
I'm
yeah, I don't know. I'm
no,
just like, "Ugh."
I'm so glad you're bringing this up because yeah, the first 2 Hokage get reanimated when the 3rd Hokage is fighting Orochimaru, like when
Right.
the 3rd Hokage dies. And after that, like they get reanimated again. And throughout this whole time, like you start learning a little more about the first and second Hokage and like, oh, these guys are actually like really big, really important. But the whole time you're watching it, you're like, well, then why did the third Hokage? How could he beat them so easy?
Mhm.
Like there's like a power scaling problem there. That like, okay, so is the third Hokage like really cool? And they're like, no, those guys were actually just like weakened back then. And you're like,
Right.
what? Like, what are you talking about?
What are we doing here,
These
dude?
should
But
just be
yeah.
regular guys. Like, they're not the greatest shinobi of all time. While we're talking about it, Kim and I were talking about this yesterday. I don't know how much you know of Boruto, Terry, but
Yeah.
spoilers if you don't. We're gonna go through all the Hokage right now,
Okay.
real quick, and I'm just gonna put a little thought in your brain.
Okay.
First Hokage, Hashirama Senju,
Mhm.
earned the title of Hokage by beating Madara Uchiha, the next like biggest, like most powerful shinobi. Earned the right to call himself Hokage, right?
Mhm.
Second Hokage, Tobirama Senju, nepotism
And racism.
and racism, but
Yeah.
nepotism.
But nepotism.
Third,
Okay, yeah.
third Hokage, second Hokage's student, nepotism.
Nepotism. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fourth Hokage, Minato. You could make an argument for Minato, but he is the student of the third Hokage. Nepotism.
Nepotism. Okay.
Fifth Hokage, the granddaughter of the first Hokage and the
Oof.
student of the third Hokage.
Oof.
Nepotism.
Nepotism. Right, right. Yep. Yep, yep, yep,
The
yep, yep.
sixth Hokage, Kakashi, the student of the fourth Hokage.
Oof.
Nepotism.
Dang. Dang. And
The
then we
seventh
get to
Hokage, Naruto, the student of the sixth Hokage, the son of the fourth Hokage. Nepotism.
Alright, come on, man. Naruto earned it.
Nepotism.
But he beat Madara just like the first
Nepotism.
one? Nepotism. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I
So
guess.
this might be a bit of a spoiler for you, but I guess in the Boruto anime, and I have never seen it, and I will not watch it just because it's apparently mostly about the Otsutsuki and like who cares.
Mhm.
But um Naruto gets like sent to like another dimension for like a couple years. Like he's trapped in this other dimension. He can't get out. So
Okay.
people assume he's dead. Um and the person who like takes over as like the eighth Hokage is Shikamaru Nara,
Okay.
who Terry is not related
It's
to
not really
any of the other Hokage in that way. He's
we
the
broke the
only other
cycle.
legit hire that they've
Mhm.
and I'm like, my man, this is
Legit
why I like
hire.
Shikamaru. My man earned his spot as the
Mhm.
eighth Hokage, and I'm all
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah, no, I support that. I support that. I think Shikamaru might be a better Hokage than Naruto, from what
Probably,
I know.
probably.
From what I know. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I
yeah.
said nepotism, Jesus Christ.
Nepotism.
While we're on the point of Hokages, and I will get back to, I've talked about hating the Hokage reanimation enough, but Kakashi as like a fill-in Hokage was kind of weird to me.
Oh, in that little like when Tsunade is like unconscious and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know if I could pick a better choice, but like, I don't know. Kakashi was weird. Like, I like Mans as like, the
Yeah,
general, or as like, like
yeah.
the Jonin, but like it was weird that they made him the Hokage, and it felt like they did because they were like, we don't really have any other main characters while
Yeah,
our
yeah,
actual main characters are still teenagers,
yeah.
and like can't do it. So,
What was interesting, as we were watching it, it's like Donzo is like the interim Hokage, right?
mhm,
And then he's at the 5 Kage summit, and it's revealed that like, "Oh, Donzo's a bad dude, like, you don't
mhm.
want this guy as your." So the other Kage are like, "Well, we're not gonna recommend Donzo, like, permanently take the spot." You know who says that Kakashi should be the Hokage and, like, he's the reason that Kakashi becomes, like, the interim, like, Hokage?
Is it?
It's Gaara.
Oh, really?
Gaara and the whole time and Kim's just like, "Can Gaara just do that?
Oh, I don't remember
Can
that.
Gaara just make a Hokage happen?" And I guess he can.
I mean, he's the Kaze Kage, man. I guess he has influence.
That's what I'm saying.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. It's fine. I can't think of anyone else to fill in for it, but
yeah.
it just feels like a weird little hop and a skip, like, "Oh, okay, I
I
guess
get it.
Kakashi will take over until." Naruto comes in. That mountain is gonna fill up, man. That they don't got more room on that mountain.
Well, right. That
Like,
I legit brought that up in, like, our watch because I was like, "At what point do we stop doing this? Because there's
right.
just too many faces." Or
It's
we should have made the faces smaller. Like, they're too big,
they're too big.
taking up too much room.
I swear in, like, the original Naruto, that mountain was just big enough for those 4 faces, and
Yeah,
then, like,
right.
suddenly, like, 20 more miles or whatever of it, like, appeared, and, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess in a world where people can just use jutsu to raise the ground, that's probably not that
That's
big a deal.
true.
You're
That's
right.
true.
Didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. Anyway, yeah, I hate that we saw the Hokage reanimation for the 4th time. It's
Yeah,
just like, you know what? I've seen these characters 4 times and, like, we got some backstory on them, but I don't care. Dude, I don't
yeah.
care. I don't want this to be the final crux of this, like, I don't know, of this long war arc that I kinda just wanna be over, and I don't care about the aliens, man, but
Well, right, yeah. I getting back to that, I do like that you pointed out that, like, the Otsutsuki was just a straight up, like, setup for Boruto, 'cause you're right, like, they come out of nowhere, and then,
Mhm.
like, they start giving you, like, Lady Kaguya's backstory, and we were just like, "What's happening? Like, why?" Like, Kim especially was like, "What is going on?" And I was like, I told her from the beginning, I'm like, even, like, getting to the war arc, I looked at her and I was like, "If you were to guess the ending right now, like, what do you think's gonna happen?" And she's like, "Oh, well, they beat Madara and, like, that's it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I could see why
Yeah.
you'd think that."
Mhm.
I'm like, "You would never in a million years guess this ending."
It just felt so disrespectful, I'll be
Yeah,
honest with
yeah,
you, just, like, just the we I've already said it a million times on this episode already. We didn't need it. We didn't need it. I don't need to
yeah,
know. I don't need to know where chakra comes from. We don't need to go
right,
this deep into it. Let us do our
right,
little ninja show. Let us have our little magic powers. I don't wanna know where they come from. Let
mhm,
Madara be the bad guy at least at the end.
yeah.
We already got one fake out with the bad guy. We don't need to. Like, it's
Kim has pitched that, like, what should have happened was when, like, Itachi finds Kabuto and he and Sasuke are, like, fighting Kabuto, he should make Kabuto reanimate Rin,
mm,
and that's what stops Obito, and he's like, "Oh my god, I was wrong this whole time, like, Rin's so angry about this whole thing," and she's like, "What are you doing, dude? Like, this is not
right.
what I wanted."
Use the talk no jutsu on him.
Yeah, yeah, but let Rin meet Naruto and, like, he's like, "Hey, like, this is your guy," like, he's going
Mhm,
crazy,
mhm.
and, like, that it should have ended on a more personal, like, more, you know, connected thing. Because like, Rin's an important character that, like, isn't really around all that much, but, like, she's very
Mhm.
vital to the plot of the show,
Yeah.
and so you could have brought it back full circle and having her, like, talk Obito down.
Is there a reason why Reen wasn't reincarnated or redone?
I think literally because of the plot.
Plot.
Because it's the same thing with Jiraiya, like, they said they couldn't find Jiraiya's body, like, at the bottom of the lake, but I'm like, "You're telling me no one has this man's DNA?" Like,
Right.
Orochimaru, of all people, never stole this man's DNA ever.
You tell me they need the geolocation of every single one of those ninjas they brought back, like
Yeah, right, and then and that gets into another thing where, like, okay, well, like, where'd you get his body from? Where'd you
right,
get her
like,
body from? Like, where are you pulling these people?
you're telling me Zabuza and Haku had a, like, formal burial and, like, we know where those bodies were? No, they were probably dumped in that lake. They were, like, bad people. Anyway, yeah, that's it's I feel kinda the same way about, like, the trope of bringing back dead characters, the kind of the same way I feel about, like, time travel, where it's
Yeah,
like, I don't love it because I feel
yeah,
like it messes with a lot of I don't really know, like, the word for it, but I
like,
feel like it just gets messy.
yeah, it messes with,
Yeah.
like, the continuity, like,
The the continuity and, like, the impact of the plot, like, you
yeah,
died
yeah,
already. You you need to live with those consequences in those, like, the choices. Like, it gets weird because like, when Asuma came back, I like that Choji and Ino had their moment with him, but on
Mhm.
the other hand, it's kinda, like, stronger maybe not stronger, but it's strong in a different sense that they never got to grieve. They weren't there with Shikamaru when he died, so they have if Asuma never came back, they would have to live with that. They would have to live with,
Yeah.
"I would never got to see him, so I don't get to grieve the same way that Shikamaru grieves," or something like that. The same way that, like,
Yeah.
time travel is like, "Oh, we can just go back and, like, I don't know, change things," or stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
it gets messy. I like but on the other hand, I like that, some people got to experience things. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I guess at the end of the day.
I think it can be done well, and I think, like, the concept of it works well, like, in the beginning. I think it dragged out way too long. I
Mhm.
think we got so many episodes of characters who got reanimated that, like, you then got their backstory that I'm like, "Well, this is not why we should be doing this. This is not the point of this.
Yeah.
Who cares?" Like,
Mhm. Like when Nagato got brought back and he was traveling with Itachi, I'm like, I love Nagato. I like how he like died. It's weird to say,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I liked his little arc. I don't want to see him again. Like I feel like
yeah,
that just like
yeah,
as the viewer, that takes away from the impact of his death. I know that
right.
he's still dead technically, but I mean, I don't know. He's ah, you know,
Yeah. No, I
yeah.
agree, I agree. Because again, I think the real reason they don't bring back Jiraiya is because, like, his sacrifice means so much to the story, but it's like,
Right.
well, so does Nagato's. Like, so does so many of these other characters,
Mhm.
and yet we're bringing back the 3rd Hokage, and, like, he just gets to walk around like he's a hero, when he was a terrible guy, he was the
Mhm.
worst Hokage. He's just letting
Yeah.
Naruto eat ramen in this little box apartment when he's 9 years old.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Man, I have a lot
we're
to
third
say about the
Hokage
3rd
haters.
Hokage.
Yeah. Yeah,
I have a lot.
we don't mess with
Ugh.
him.
I am more of a Hiruzen Sarutobi hater than I am, a lover of Naruto Uzumaki.
I get that.
Like,
Yeah, but he has the coolest, like, sage jutsu. Is it a sage jutsu that he gets with the monkey? Is
yeah,
that
yeah, it's
technically
Sage.
sage
Yeah,
stuff? So cool. So cool.
yeah.
I love, like, Monkey King stuff, so it's cool that he has, like, the bow staff and all that. But
Yeah, but
Hiruzen
he's terrible, but he's a
but he
bad dude.
sucks. But he sucks. But he sucks, absolutely. Absolutely. There are so many things I could say,
Yeah,
but I think I got most of my frustration and love out. Again, I don't wanna make it seem like the ending sucks.
yeah,
There are a lot of things about it that I would change, but overall,
mhm,
um, a favorite. The series is a favorite for many many reasons. Still love a
yeah,
lot of the characters, and it's a staple for so many reasons. Pat, and I know
yeah.
you'd agree.
Yeah, I think if you're listening to this, if you haven't watched Naruto, or if you haven't really had a lot of like experience with like anime in general, I think this is a great like starter anime for a lot of people. I think again, like for us, like this helped get us into like that mindset of like especially like shonen type anime
Hmm.
where like a lot of things are kind of built more on like stereotypical like relationships and things like that. But
Yeah, it's very
I definitely
tropey.
think yeah, if you wanna dip your toes in the water, dip your toe in the water of the shinobi
Hmm.
world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, experience it. Maybe there are some guides out there that's like, hey, here are the filler episodes. You maybe don't need to watch these ones and all that.
For sure,
Um, but
for sure.
it's a good starter anime. I feel like
Yeah,
it introduces you to shonen pretty well. I feel like.
yeah. And again, it's such a cool world that you wanna explore it. You want to be in there. You wanna be wearing a headband and,
Oh yeah.
doing all the different stuff, but
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, ending aside, I would definitely recommend Naruto if you haven't seen it. And even if you have, I rewatch it. You pick up on a lot more. There's so many like little like Easter eggs that in the original series that you don't pick up on until you've seen the entire thing. Terry, they mention Obito like early on in the OG series.
Oh really?
Yeah, like
Huh.
Asuma says something to Kakashi like, "Oh, is that would that be like a are you going to see Obito's grave or something?" And you're like,
Oh.
"Whoa."
Whoa. I didn't know
What
that.
are we talking about?
Oh, cool.
So there's just
Cool
a
stuff.
lot of, like, little, like, seeds that you get to see along the way that are really cool.
Yeah, little lore drops. That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. That's new to me.
Yeah.
And even if like you don't want to sit down for the entire anime, the Storm games summarize
Oh,
up the story pretty well.
yeah.
So you can play a fun little like fighting game with some cool moves and experience the story along
Yeah.
the way. So
Yeah,
it's there are many ways to experience Naruto.
for sure.
So no,
I will
while we're
I
finishing off before that, so no Boruto. Not even gonna try it.
no.
Okay,
No.
that's fair.
Honestly, like, we watched the Boruto movie, and, like, I think that's it for me. 'Cause,
Mhm.
like, I don't know if you've seen it, Terry, but, like, it's set when, Naruto is the Hokage, Boruto starts taking the Chunin exams. There's, like, this, like, ninja tool that they have. There's a lot of, like, technology now. Like, Naruto's doing, like, interviews on TV.
Mhm.
He has a computer at his desk. He's emailing Boruto at one point.
Oh man.
It's kinda crazy to see. But
It's like Avatar
Boruto
to, like, Legend of Korra type of
Yeah,
technological
yeah.
advancement.
But, like, Boruto has this ninja tool, like, on his wrist where, like, you can take a jutsu and, like, store it there,
Mhm,
and then he just kind of, like, unleashes it. Like, it's a little mini, like, scroll that just, like, contains this jutsu, and so he can't really do a whole lot of jutsu yet, so he uses that and he cheats his way through the tuning exams, and eventually Naruto catches him doing it, but then, like, the more, like, Otsutsuki come, and the story is basically about, like, Boruto feels neglected because his dad's always so busy being the Hokage.
right.
But then when the Otsutsuki invade, like, Boruto gets to see that, like, oh, like, he's the Hokage because he's this powerful shinobi that, like, he's protecting the village, like, he's Hokage for a reason,
Mhm,
and, it ends with, like, they kind of come to a better understanding of each other, and their relationship, starts getting better, and for me, I'm like, "Okay, that's all I need," because what could the Boruto franchise really do more? Because I imagine it would just repeat that same story over and over again,
sure.
and I don't need that.
Yeah, I get it. Again, it's okay to let a series die. It's
Yeah,
okay to let something end gracefully, or as gracefully as you can when aliens come to invade afterwards. Yeah, let it end, man. Let the I don't know, let
yeah.
it sleep. Yeah.
The one final thought I will say, and again, this is something I talked about with Kim, but, like, the entire show, like, from the premise of, like, OG Naruto, like, one of the first episodes, Naruto's goal is to become Hokage, and again, I think he earns that right after he defeats Pain, and then obviously after everything he does in the war and everything, 100% earns him the right. Terry, do you know that the day Naruto becomes Hokage is, like, a little short? It's like an animated short that they made. It's only, like, 11 minutes long.
Huh.
And in it, his daughter and his son are, like, fighting over, like, a teddy bear or something. She unlocks her Byakugan, and then she punches Naruto in the groin, in, like, a chakra point in the groin. So
Uh-huh.
Naruto misses, like, his inauguration as Hokage.
Jesus
And so
Christ.
Konohamaru goes in there as, like, a transformation jutsu. He's pretending to be Naruto. But, like, that's the whole thing, and you're like, This is we've been building up this entire franchise to this guy becoming Hokage, and he's not even there for it?
Jesus
For
Christ,
a
man.
comedy moment?
I think that just summarizes the whole series, though. I mean, oh yeah, just take it or leave it. Whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
What can you do?
What
It's
can you
funny.
do?
Doesn't like
Yeah.
the Nine Tails like Kurama like feel it too or something? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you're just like, "What are we doing?"
You can't be too serious. Can't be too serious. This is Naruto
Right.
after all.
It's true.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
true. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I mean, I have a ton more I could say, but
Sure. Sure. But for the sake of viewers and for me not rambling too much, I guess we should probably call it, right?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Ladies and
Absolutely.
gentlemen, thank you for coming on this journey with us. Like I said, if you want to check out Naruto, check out the manga, check out the anime, check out the Storm games. Like, there's so many ways to experience it. Um, or just get TikToks like I do now, where you just
Mhm,
get the big parts anyway.
mhm.
Um, Hopefully next time we will be back with The Last of Us as promised. We will try and be prepared.
Those episodes are chunky.
They are
God, I thought I
chunky.
could finish it all in one night, and I was whoo, man. I got through super side tangent really quick. I got through episode 3 of season 1, Bill and
Mhm.
Frank. Ah,
Oh, oh,
I don't wanna get into it too much. That's it.
yeah. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk.
All right. Thank you all for joining us, and hope you have a lovely day. Believe it.
Believe it.